Hello besties, how are you today? Okay, so since Hazbin Hotel season 2 just ended, I figured it would be the perfect time to talk about one of my favorite characters of all times, Angel Dust. First, before we get into the video, since it will be a kind of an essay covering my thoughts on Angel Dust as a representation, I just want to add a little disclaimer or trigger warning for topics of SA and rape. So if that is something that makes you uncomfortable, please feel free to check out at any moment, or just don't watch this at all because your comfort and your safety matters. Okay, and with that out of the way, I also want to say that this is just my opinion as a survivor of that, and because it is a very important topic to me, I figured that I would speak up about it. But obviously you don't have to agree with me. What I say is not the truth, and the beauty of a fandom, I believe, is that we'll have our own opinions and we can all learn from each other. So if you think that he is good rep and it was handled well, that is valid. If you think he is not and the topic was handled poorly, that is also valid. I think the key is to listen to each other because we can all learn. Okay, and with that out of the way, let's get into it. Look at my Angel Dust baby doll. Isn't he adorable? Okay, so something I really like about this show, and one of the reasons why Angel Dust resonates a lot with me, is that when they portray his relationship with Valentino, they show that side of Angel that misses him, because it is actually a very common trauma response. It is very common to, when all you've known is abuse. Something my therapist said once is that when you're used to showering with cold water, the day you shower with warm water, it feels like, or with like lukewarm water, it feels hot because you're not used to it. So we normalize what we go through every day. So for Angel, the treatment that he gets from Val is a norm. So when he gets comfort, safety, or consent, it feels foreign. And when you are someone that is constantly in survival mode, sometimes being in a place that you don't know, even if it's something safe, even if it is safety, because you don't know it is safety, because you don't have it normalized, that can seem scarier than the hurt you know. So I really like, as much as the ending of season 2 broke my heart, I love that they are incorporating these aspects of the feelings that you get when you survive abuse are confusing. It's rarely a feeling of, I hate my abuser, this is horrible. There's a lot of, it comes with a lot of self-blame, with a lot of shame, with a lot of guilt, and with a lot of craving that because you feel that's what you deserve, because that's what you're used to. And I also feel that something that I love seeing represented is, okay, let's talk about the concept of a perfect victim. What is a perfect victim? In media, the concept of perfect victim usually refers to a character that is a victim of abuse and people deem as, and whose trauma responses are deemed as acceptable, basically. And Angel Dust is nowhere near that, because his responses, his hypersexuality, everything that he displays makes some people jump to victim blaming, in the sense of like, oh, but you're acting hypersexual after abuse. But you're acting, when in season 1 he says, you don't think I can tell when someone spikes my drink? I do this all the time. Him resorting to that, or even his coping mechanism and trauma response in the face of assault, is to reciprocate and to jump into this Angel Dust persona, because that is what he uses to survive. He dissociates while his body just instinctively jumps into this persona of reciprocating, because that's all he knows. And he knows that if he reciprocates, the hurt will be less than if he resists, than if he fights back. And that comes in society with a lot of, but why didn't you fight back? Why didn't you defend yourself? Even, why didn't you say no? Because sometimes we don't feel like we can say no. And when you feel like your life may be on the line, you're confused, you're scared, and before you react and before you're able to process what's going on and what people are doing to you, your brain just jumps into survival, and sometimes survival looks like reciprocating. And seeing that just really resonated with me, because it is something so hard to talk about and to make people understand. It is something that I really see in myself, and seeing a character go through that and exhibit the same trauma responses that I do, besides the hypersexuality, because I'm on the complete opposite end, besides trauma and stuff, I am asexual, but I am very sex repulsed also because of trauma. So besides that, it was seeing a character display these behaviors and have people say that is valid and it is not his fault. And I saw that and I felt like if it is not his fault, it is not my fault either. And that's why I think that having very diverse representation of these topics is extremely important, because we are all different and we all react to trauma in such different ways. So I think it's very important that we all have that reference of we are all valid, because your brain is in a traumatic situation. You're not thinking like, from an outside perspective, it is very common to hear people say, well, if I was ever assaulted, I would do this, I would push them, I learned this trick in self-defense and I would do this. Maybe you can't react because you don't know how you would react until it happens. And that's why it is so important to listen to everyone. And also, Angel shows that healing doesn't have to be like, healing can be ugly. And coping can be ugly, because sometimes we don't know any better and we're not in a headspace when we can sit and think, okay, I deserve better. How can I heal from this? Healing isn't linear, and sometimes it involves a lot of self-destructive behaviors more often than not. And giving that a voice and being able to see that in a way that the show portrays that in a way that it is harmful, yes. And it is very important to have a support network around you that can help you when you're going through that, but it is also not something you should be shamed for at all, because you are just doing your best to survive from something that shouldn't even happen in the first place. So I know Angel is a character that is incredibly polarizing, but because of all of these reasons, I am very grateful that he exists, because he gives a voice to issues, coping mechanisms, trauma responses that are so taboo in society. The topic of rape is already such a taboo in society, but having a character like that give light to this more, I don't know how to say, but less accepted coping mechanisms and trauma responses that come with a lot of victim blaming, gives a voice to people that go through that without survivors having to go in front of a camera and say, this happened to me and this is how I cope and this is everything that I've been through, and I am not proud of things I may have done, but I didn't know any better because I was just trying to survive. And I think that is beautiful, and I am choosing to come into here and kind of expose myself a little bit and tell you a bit about my story, but people shouldn't have to do that in order to be accepted and validated. You don't have to share details about anything from your experience in order to be valid. You are valid, and I love you so much. And well, this is all I wanted to say about, I try to do like 10-minute videos, so this is all I could fit in. And I don't know, this is very important to me. And again, please don't, the only thing that I want to ask, as much as I would love to hear your thoughts, please don't argue in the comments, because as I said, we should listen to everyone, and in a community where there is sadly a lot of people that have been through SA, we should not fight each other. We should listen to each other, because we are all in the same boat. And thank you so much for listening to me today. And to end the video on a more lighthearted note, look, he has tiny shoes and overalls, and he also has a dress, but this is my favorite outfit of his. And I am considering getting him and also Mayana plushie some sort of like crib or something like that to have them on display, because I don't know, my babies are just adorable. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Please, if you're comfortable, drop your thoughts in the comments. I always love to read you. And I hope you have a lovely day. You're valid, you matter. And if you can relate to this video, I just want you to know that it was not your fault. Stay safe and take care. Bye bye!